Thank you, Amanda, and welcome everybody to the PopWIS Live iRead Summer 2026 preview of Plant a Seed Read. And welcome wherever you are today in library land. My name is Janae Jackson Doring. I am the Youth Services Consultant with the State Library of Iowa. We welcome you today, and we've got some special guests with us. From the iRead team, we have Becca Bolin. She's the iRead Content and Development Manager for iRead. And we have Tina Kaliva. Tina, can you share your title? I want to make sure I get your title right since you had just changed titles.
Oh, no worries as well. Thank you so much. My current title is ILA Deputy Director.
Awesome. The ILA Deputy Director is here with us as well. And what is our plan? What are we going to cover today? So we're going to cover the introduction of the 2026 theme, Plant a Seed Read. Tina and Becca will also share some opportunities how you, yes, you in Libraryland can contribute to the 2027 resource guide, which I believe it's a science fiction themed.
That's correct. Science fiction. Reading expands our universe. I'll talk about it more in a little bit.
Yes, I'm excited. You'll learn some general theme concept voting on how to vote for the 2028 theme. Yes, 2028, if you can believe it. Also, details. This is important. Details about the iRead store, how to order, downloading the resource guide. There will be an actual live viewing of how you can download the resource guide, deadlines, shipping, and etc. And finally, some Q&A and some upcoming events from the State Library that you should mark your calendars for. And with that, I'm going to turn off my mic and I'm going to turn it over to Tina and Becca.
Thanks, Janae. We really appreciate it. Iowa is such a great way for us to kick off our state webinars and just the new theme in general, because you all are so involved and so enthusiastic, and it just gets us all pumped up. And popcorn, what is popcorn? It's a seed, right? I mean, you all can probably tell me better than I can tell you, but I'm just trying to tie things together. So Tina, if you want to take over, we will get started. I'm so excited for 2026, and I hope that you all will be as well. Every year I think, oh, we can't get any better than this. And then every year I get even more excited than the year before. So you were already introduced to us. I'm Becca Boland. My colleague Tina Koleva is also on the call. She's going to be the one who walks you through how to access your resource guide. And I think Janae just is so on top of stuff. Agenda covered. So we could just move right into the meat and potatoes and corn and whatever else of our presentation. If you could go to the next slide, Tina. So for those who haven't seen, this is a preview of the 4 posters that we have available for this, not this, next summer. And you can see the artists, you can see a little bit of what's happening. And we didn't plan it or ask it, but somehow all of the artists decided on a very similar color palette, and all of the designs and the spot art and everything really go super well together. So that's a delight, because we don't like to, prescribe what the artists are going to do, but look at that. So gorgeous. All right, next, please. So we talked about this a little bit last year, but I'm sure that I don't remember last week, much last year. So the mission statement for next summer is that Plant a Seed Read is rooted in the concept of farm to table. A farm grows food that nourishes our bodies. A library grows ideas that nourish our minds. Both food and stories connect us to our family, culture, economy, and ecology. iREAD 2026, Plant a Seed Read, will provide a context for exploring culture, history, science, health, and human connection. So look at these guys. We were so excited to have Pete Oswald and Jory John share some of their beloved food group series with us. And it's a combination of some new images, and they pulled from some old images, or not old, but some existing images. And I just am so delighted. As you can see behind Janae, there's a really cute kind of farm plus books reading vibe. If you could go to the next slide, I'll show you all some of the spot art. So there are all of our buddies. They're just so charming. I just love them all. And yeah, so then we can move on to the next person. This is Hatamali. Not only is he a delightful human, but he is also an amazing artist. You might be familiar with, he did the illustrations for the early reader Yasmin. It's a series. He is also the illustrator for the Proudest Blue series, or I think it's actually the Red, White, and Blue series, because there's 3 books now that feature the Olympic medalist in fencing, I believe. Plus Inquisitor's Tale, Unicorn Rescue Society. So look at this cute art, you all. It's so stinking cute. I can't handle it. I love these kids kind of celebrating and reading in the lower right-hand corner. That's one of my favorite pieces. The radish is just too much. I just adore it. And then all of these, you may have noticed on the poster that there's lots of animals kind of burrowing under the ground, and they're all reading. So that's really delightful as well. I just think it's so whimsical, so fun. I love the colors. And that's some of Hatam's work. Wendy Sue, she is probably best known as the illustrator of the Mooncakes graphic novel, but she also wrote and illustrated both the Infinity Particle and Tide Song. Part of why we really fell in love with her for this particular year are these like adorable anthropomorphic fruits and vegetables that she draws. So here's a taste of some of those. The little corn pig we're obsessed with, as well as the lettuce cat. Um, I love the cucumber guy, the student. He's so stinking cute. I love this. I just love this art, and I think it's really unique and super fun. So that's Wendy. And then last but not least is Sarah Ferrone. Sarah is more of a graphic designer than a children's book illustrator, but her specialty is drink and food. So you'll see kind of, she makes these really nice little like recipe images, and she has made some puzzles and games and stuff for Chronicle, I think. So this is a collection of her spot art, which is just so charming and beautiful. And that bookworm we are just fully enamored with. And you'll see that on some of the shirts. And again, this is a very different style than anything we've had in the recent past, at least. And so we hope that it will have mass appeal. There's a lot of like intergenerational stuff happening in her art, which we love. And I love the little details, like the woman reading in the book tent, and there's a chicken there, and there's a cat on top, and she's surrounded by broccoli. And I just think it's so lovely. I don't know how many times I can say how lovely it is. We're going to share with you really quickly the PSA for this year. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to take over, Tina. Okay, and then Janae, if you can give me a thumbs up if you can hear when I start.
Hi, Good Egg. What are you planting? Not bad seeds, I hope.
No. Information seeds, story seeds, imagination seeds.
What will you do with the seeds when they're grown?
Read, of course.
You could just go to the library.
All aboard.
Plant a seed and read this summer at your library with reading programs for children, teens, and adults.
So that is the PSA. Boop-a-doop. Tina's taking back over. Thank you. Just some dates to remember. Iowa is above and beyond in terms of the professional development they do around summer reading. But if you would like to join us at iREAD ILA as well, we would love to have you. These are all virtual. We're going to do a showcase in December, which is a virtual version of the presentation that I do with the iREAD committee at the Illinois Library Association conference. It's similar to this, but we do a little bit more kind of overview of the resource guide and some of our favorite programs and crafts and just things to look out for. And so we would love to have you join us for that. I'm going to do 2 deep dives again this year. I'm going to start with programming, crafts, etc., because I know that programs are due before you start decorating. And then we'll do one on decorations, displays, etc. There will likely be additional webinars. If you're not someone who receives the newsletter, the iRead newsletter, keep your eyes peeled there. That's a great place to find out all of the happenings in iRead. 2027, science fiction, reading expands our universe. This is not the art. I did, however, just get previews of all the posters from the artists, and boy, oh boy, I'm real excited. So let me tell you a little bit about 2027 and our mission and vision for that. Science fiction encourages us to dream big, take risks, and imagine a future enhanced by human innovation. Libraries make contemporary technology accessible and provide access to stories that encourage patrons of all ages to explore a world greater than themselves. The beauty of science fiction is that there's a niche for everyone, whether you want robot butlers, dream of a solar-powered utopia, or yearn for time travel. These stories have brought us into the furthest reaches of space, shrunk us down so that we can explore the jungle of our own backyards, and helped readers to examine what it means to lead a human life on Earth. With iRead 2027, Reading Expands Our Universe, we invite libraries and their patrons to dream big, take risks, and enjoy a summer of exploration and imagination. So, some artists, what we've all been waiting for. You're like, no, I haven't even thought about 2026 yet, but we're so excited. We want to share them with you. So Stevie Lewis, she is probably best known for her, I don't know if this series has a name. I think it does. I think it's like World Friends, or World, no, it's all the planets, you all, plus Pluto and the sun. I'm so sorry. Usually I can cheat and it'll say on one of the covers what the series name is if I don't remember, but not here. Also, How to Eat in Space and Fatima's Great Outdoors. So all of these things kind of inspired us to reach out to Stevie, and we're really excited that she's going to be joining us for 27. Oh my gosh, you all. Jen Carace. I have said it wrong my entire life because she is one of my most favorites. I give the set of Little Hoot, Little P, and Little Oik to every new baby that I know and meet because it's just so lovely and charming. And it was such a huge part of my kids' babyhood. And she is just phenomenal. Small World is a newer book that she illustrated that has a lot of space components, and the sketch I just got for her poster, I'm blown away. I can't wait to see it in full color and to share it with all of you. So that's Jen. Lisa Sturl is probably best known for Squad, which is a teen graphic novel. She has a very futuristic kind of, yet like 80s, 90s kind of vibe. I feel like the colors are very 80s, 90s to me. And she's just amazingly talented, and we were very excited to get her as well. If you haven't read Squad, it's a great read. Highly, highly recommend it. And then not last but not least is Joel Christian Gill, another fabulous artist. He is the illustrator of all of the Tales of the Talented 10th graphic novels, and just in general, like a really amazing artist. I'm really excited about the sketches he sent as well. So those are our artists for 2027. We're really excited. But to get to 2027, we need to produce a resource guide. It's really the heart of the program. As you all know, it's by librarians and library staff for librarians and library staff. We're looking for suggestions, ideas, bibliographies, scripts, and all of that will go into the resource guide for you and your colleagues across this great nation to use. Of course, you get that beautiful art that's yours in perpetuity. So if you don't use it all of the summer, you could choose when else you might like to use it. And then we're really trying to be very transparent about how you can use the content and the art. And of course, if you ever have any questions about that, you could reach out. So there are two opportunities to participate in the creation of the 2027 resource guide. You can volunteer for the resource guide team, and basically that just is you committing to making some contributions to the resource guide for sure, and also serving as kind of a recruiter for certain sections of the resource guide. So we ask you to, go to your listservs and your colleagues and all of those places and say like, hey, I know you all have great ideas. Would you be willing to share them? And just, and then the other way to share and help, can you go back? Thanks. Is to submit your idea. So there are a number of different sections that you can submit, and it does not have to be new. If it's something you've done before and has been successful, that's great and fabulous. In fact, it's even preferred because we know that it works. And if you're inspired by something else, that's great too. Just share what your inspiration was. And it's not just crafts and maker stuff. There's all different kinds of programs. There's bibliographies. We're always looking for good quotes that are related to the theme, or jokes, or just about anything that you can imagine that might work in the creation and implementation of your summer reading are things that we're interested in. And you can submit one thing, you can submit 20 things. It's really up to you and your passion and your experience and what you already have in your pocket. So and again, any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And then last but not least, so 2028, the broad theme is going to be crafts, hobbies, and maker. So it's going to be a really creative summer. And we need your help. This is one of the ways that our beautiful state partner friends can contribute to the wider program. So if you would go to the next screen, this is just some inspiration photos, but here's our vision statement for 28. Crafting and creating encourages us to use our imaginations and let it take shape with our own hands. Libraries, through books, craft classes, makerspaces, and more, not only foster but encourage these expressions of innovation and artistry. Whether you decide to write stories, knit, 3D print, crochet, embroider, woodwork, brew potions, draw, or paint, there is a niche and an art for everyone. The emergence of recording equipment, sewing machines, green screens, button makers, heat presses, engravers, and more being available at so many libraries truly illustrates the importance of making. Through crafting, we can connect not only with others, but with ourselves as we let our imagination create our unique visions of the world. With iREAD 2028, we encourage readers and libraries everywhere to celebrate these artistic pursuits for both the end products and the restorative act of creating. So just a reminder of what we're looking for in a theme. We want it to be universal in promoting reading. We want it to be focused in interpretation so that every library can create a program that's a reflection of their community, be dynamic and imply action, and be appropriate for all genders. We also ask that it include the word book, read, or library, or something related. As you might remember in 2023, our tagline was find your voice, and we felt that was very library adjacent. So there's a little bit of wiggle room there. And of course, we want it to lend itself to strong graphic interpretation, and we want it to appeal to all ages, from baby through adult. Just as a reminder, these are some of our recent themes and taglines. So just a refresher there. And here we go. So what I would ask of all of you is if you would please vote for your favorite tagline for 2028. There's a number of different choices there. And please, I always say we are from Chicago, but we are not asking you to vote early and vote often. Please choose your one favorite and put a heart next to it. Because if we put hearts next to all of the ones that we like, we'll never decide on a tagline. So I know that it's hard. Oh, I'm seeing recommendations in the chat. I know it's hard to choose just one, but please, just one. And yeah, and I think that's all for me. And I'm going to turn it over to Tina, who's going to take you through accessing your 2026 resource guide. Take it away, Tina.
Thanks, Becca, so much. And thank you everyone for joining us. So just a few reminders of how it works. Janae will be the one who will send you your copy, your code to redeem and how to access the resource guide. We'll have a email that's going to go out to everyone who has signed up to participate in 2026. I'm thinking at the end we'll follow up with some of those logistics of when you can expect that email and what it's going to include. The store is already open. You can access the store at any time as well. I will go through step by step how you redeem the code once you get it and how you download the resource guide. And we'll take a look at a few things that are in the resource guide. And let's see what else we have here. I think it's just logistics. Yeah. So it's a redeemable code that's redeemed once per library, but then the resource guide is yours forever. And you can use it starting in 2026 and beyond for any library program, really. And you can use the graphics as well for promotions of any program that's relating to reading and to your library. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this screen so I can exit real quick. Okay. And give me just 1 second. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and share again. Okay. Somebody can give me confirmation that you can actually see my email. All right. So one quick reminder for those of you that have been using the program for a few years, nothing has really changed as to how you redeem your code and download the resource guide. It's just going to be a different code this year. And very important part is that you have to use the link, the special link that is received with the code. The resource guide cannot be redeemed via the regular iRead website. So when you click on that link, although it does look like the regular iRead website, it's going to bring you right away. As soon as you sign in, it's going to bring you to this redeem portion. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out and quickly start from the beginning so you will see the screen on your side. So it's going to bring you to the portion where you need to sign in first. I'm going to go ahead and do that. If you already have purchased anything in the past from iRead or have redeemed the code in the past, you're going to be asked to sign in into your existing account. But if you don't have an account, you can just scroll down and create one. Once you sign in, you're going to get to the portion where it's asking you to enter the code. I'm going to copy and paste that code. And once you enter it in the box, make sure to click on redeem. And that's it. That's all you need to do in order to redeem the code. And now this is the confirmation screen via which you can download the 2 parts of the resource guide. It is very important that you download both parts, because in download part 1 are all the chapters of the resource guide, including a chapter dedicated to a graphics preview where you can see all of the graphics in one place. So you don't have to go into all the folders to search for a particular graphic, but this way you would know exactly where to find it. But in download part 1, that's not where the actual graphics, what you see on Janae's screen, what you see on Becca's screen as far as graphics, all of that will be in download part 2. Now, download part 2 has all of the graphics from all of our illustrators for 2026. It is a very large download, so I recommend downloading them separately. So if you click on download part 1, you'll see right away it will start downloading. I will not attempt to download part 2 while we're in this webinar because most likely it won't work. As I said, it's large files. The first one downloads pretty quickly, but in order to show you what's in the resource guide, I have already downloaded them, so we'll quickly access my downloads here so you can take a look. So as I mentioned, we have 2 parts to the resource guide, 2026 resource guide. And this contains all the chapters, additional supplemental documentation, and partner contributions, as well as the public service announcement that you saw earlier. So if we go in the resource guide chapters, this is where you can find all the getting started, program development, programming. Here the graphics preview that I mentioned. If this is in a PDF, I'm going to quickly open it, where you can see some information as to how the graphics are organized. And then it goes into information about all of the illustrators and the various graphics provided. Now you got to make sure you download the second part of the resource guide. And that will be 2026 Arts and Graphics. Once you open up that folder, this is where you'll be able to find all of the graphics, which are separated by, they're organized, not separated, but organized by badges, bonus art, all the posters, spot art. So let's just take a look at the spot art. Then once you open spot art, you're going to see the 4 different illustrators. These are the EPS files that you need special. All of these folders contain absolutely the same files. Just for some of them, you need special software in order to open it. So I would suggest, you can actually extend this to see, I would suggest that you look at JPEG or PNG files in order to access the graphics. Okay. Then once you have downloaded the resource guide, as I mentioned, it lives within your account. So if for some reason you downloaded it onto a desktop, you didn't put it on a flash drive for some reason, all of a sudden something happens to that desktop, you can always go back, access the receipt again within your account, and download the resource guide. You don't have to start from scratch where you will be redeeming another code. You can easily just go back and access the receipt. If you have any questions, if you ever need any help with any part of redeeming the code or downloading the resource guide, or general questions about the store or iRead, always make sure to email us. Becca just put the email in the chat, and it's available everywhere on our website. We're a very small staff. And we work both for iREAD and ILA, which means that it's much easier. If you send us an email, I promise we reply very quickly. Anyone who has contacted us via email knows that it's much faster for us than if you contact us via phone, and especially when it comes to the resource guide or something with the store, it's much easier if we have it on an email because we'll have an easier answer for you versus having to look it up talking over the phone. And most likely we'll ask you to email us anyway. So I recommend starting with that. But I'll stop here if there are any specific questions, either for the program itself or downloading and accessing the resource guide, anything regarding the store.
Actually, I do have a question. Can you show some images from the store of what is available for purchase? Like if they wanted to get posters or
Yeah,
prize
absolutely.
trinkets or whatnot.
Yes, let me go ahead and share my screen again real
So
quick.
while Tina's doing that, I'll tell you all just a little story. When we were going through the store and checking for to make sure that, you know, the images lined up with the descriptions and all of that other good stuff, it took us a lot longer than it should have because Tina and I kept writing to each other and being like, "Oh my gosh, this is so great. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Oh, I love this so much." Yes, the PSA can be personalized. You are welcome to edit it in whatever way best suits your library. Generally speaking, when it comes to iRead materials, we want you to be able to create whatever you need for your library, your community. So yeah, throw it in iMovie or whatever the equivalent is in PCs, and go ahead and add your logos, all of that other good stuff. So yeah, the PSA is really versatile. You can throw it on social media, you could share it with local cable, or some people put it up in the library, like on screens if that's something that you have available to you. It's really, really flexible.
All right. Thanks, Becca. So here is the store. You can either select Browse All, which will pull all of the items, and you can just keep scrolling in order to view them. You can select by the categories that you see on the left-hand side. You can select by age category as well, or also if you want to see all the items, for an example, with Adam's artwork on it or with any of the other illustrators. Oh, internet is not cooperating with me. You can select that as well, and it's gonna pull up only those items, or you can go back to all. Another thing that's really helpful when it comes to the shirts, for an example, a common question that we get is, what does the shirt say? So when you open up a shirt, you can see that there is some verbiage there, but if you actually hover over with your mouse, it will zoom in and you can see exactly, you can see the images closer and you can see what the different shirts have there as well. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, this is pretty readable even before we zoom in.
That's very bold.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take a look. Yes, that was definitely proofing the store took us longer than it should have because we were stopping at every item and being pretty amazed of how gorgeous they look and just the interesting things that are available
Well,
in the
and the
store.
funniest thing is I helped choose and design it, but somehow I was still just absolutely blown away by seeing it all together. Some of my favorites, just because you didn't ask, but I'm gonna tell you. Those are really cute, the little barnyard bubbles. I really love, there's a tote bag and an apron that both have Sarah Frown's art on it. And the apron has two large pockets. So it would be super great. Well, it would be great in a giveaway, but it's also great for programming and that sort of thing. So, you know, if instead of t-shirts, you all want to do aprons, I think that that would be really fun and really cool. Plus useful because it has two very large pockets. And then this, she also designed, and it's going to be in that extra in the art and graphics folder. She designed these beautiful recipe cards. You'll have the PDFs of those that you can print yourself if you would like, but we also have some really beautifully printed postcards of them. Sarah Ferone was actually with us at ALA because she is Philly based. So if you were able to come to the booth at ALA, you might have had the opportunity to meet her. Another, the mini veggie erasers make me giggle every time I see them. The red chili pepper pen, you push the stem to make the pen work. It's really cute. Spice it up. The scratch and sniff stickers we're very excited about. We designed them ourselves and chose the scents for them. So I don't know if you all, how many people on the call are 80s babies, but there's a lot of nostalgia for me around scratch and sniff stickers. So I'm very excited for those. Yeah, there's a lot of really cute stuff. And I think one of the things that I really love is there's some really great stuff for giveaways. There's really great stuff for prizes and grand prizes that you can put together. There's a lot of stuff that, is great for staff. And, it's just, there's a little bit of everything. So this is a market tote, and it has a little zippered pocket with one of Sarah's pears on the inside of it. And then, of course, all of our STEM kits and craft kits and all of that other great stuff. I highly recommend those kits for an easy peasy program in the summer. Like you can grab, we have a really cool art machine STEM kit this year. That would be really great. We have some make your own aprons, kid size aprons, which would make for, oh yay, thanks. Oh, Tina, can you open the wood pig? I love this craft too.
A wood pig.
Yeah, so it's meant to you can decorate it and put it together, and then it's like a pinwheel kind of like the wings move in the wind, so you can add it to your garden, and it's really cute, and I think the potential for programming is really exciting with a lot of this stuff. So yeah, I put the link to the store in the chat. So if you want to take some time to explore on your own, that would be great. And as always, if you have any questions, just reach out. We're happy to answer those for you.
And does the website have the link to the deadlines for when librarians should have things ordered by?
Yeah, it sure does. Tina, do you want to throw the shipping schedule either up or in the chat?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Have it in the chat.
Fun time.
Just a reminder to everybody, if you order early and we realize that we have sold out of something, there is a good chance that we can get additional items and add it back to the store. If you wait until the last possible second, the chances of something being sold out and us not being able to replace it in the store are much higher. So we encourage you that once you have kind of your summer plan together, oh yay, thanks, Heather. Get your orders in. And this is especially true for shirts, because for some reason, every year there's one or two shirts that people really love in like a couple of particular sizes. And then we sell out, and there comes a point where we just can't reprint t-shirts anymore. So yeah, the sooner you get the order in, the better the chances are that we will not be sold out. So that's important.
Yeah.
So
another thing, when it comes to the orders as well, we do offer the bill me later option. So shipping of the order is not dependent on payment. So even if you're working within a fiscal year or for whatever reason you cannot pay for it right away, but you would like to place the order as early as possible, go ahead and do that. Place it with the bill me later option. We start invoicing you. The order is due within 30 days after receiving your items, not after you're placing your order. So that's why we have the early deadlines there. If you order by December 1, you'll have the items as early as March. If that's too early, then I would say the next absolute deadline, I would try to get it in by January 5th, because this way you ensure that we will still have everything available in the store and you can purchase exactly the items that you're looking for.
Tina, can you tell them really quickly about the cart and how when you fill a cart and then you leave, all of those things disappear, but there's a way to
Yes,
kind of
so
save what you're looking at?
yes, so our card does not work. Like, the easiest way I can compare this to the browsing and an Amazon cart. So just because you've added items to your cart, if you sign out or you leave your computer and it signs out for you, the next day you might not be able to find those items in the cart anymore. So what I would highly recommend, especially if you are waiting to gather, let's say, you're waiting to hear from a couple of your coworkers about the t-shirts that they want, and you're waiting to gather all of that information, I would highly recommend of using under help. I'll put the direct link. We have order quotes. You can read about order quotes there more, or also as you're browsing and as you're adding items to your cart, you will see on the bottom, instead of checking out, you will see the option of creating a quote. So you can go ahead and hit create quote. That will save your items in the cart, so then you can access that quote later and convert it to the order. However, this does not put a save on the items in the warehouse, meaning just because you created a quote in December, but you didn't come back and converted that quote to an order until May, it doesn't guarantee again that those items will be available. So let's say you added some shirts in sizes that are no longer available. If you come back in May and you try to convert it into an order, the store will stop you and tell you, well, that's great, but we no longer have this, and this item. So again, this is the order quotes feature is very convenient for if you're waiting to get a purchase approval, or if you're waiting to gather a few more items from other departments so you can all place it in one order. That's great for it. But I would say convert it into an order as soon as the order is finalized, and place it, if you have to, with the bill me later option, but make sure that the order is placed. Also, an order will have a immediate confirmation. So you'll have a confirmation on your screen and you'll receive a confirmation email. I suggest to review that as soon as you receive it. If you're missing something, we have a narrow window of about a week before that order gets finalized and sent over to the warehouse, where we could possibly still add items or remove if there was a change. After 2 weeks, we can no longer make any changes to orders, and orders that are paid for as well, we can no longer make changes. But again, no matter what happens, as you're browsing through the store, as you're redeeming the code for the resource guide, don't ever hesitate to send us an email, no matter what the question is. It is much easier to address it before you place an order versus after the order has been placed. And we love hearing from our partners in Iowa, so don't ever hesitate to email us.
Can you bring up the
Are the
slide?
gold standard for state partners. Let me tell you, we just love Iowa so much.
Can you guys bring up the slide with the dates of the deep dives of the
Oh,
webinars that you
yeah.
guys are
You can
hosting?
also
Yes.
find that on our website.
Yeah.
So if you go to resources and learning opportunities,
I'll put
that's
the
gonna be there.
link.
So I'm gonna put that right in the chat
Yeah,
for,
here we
oh,
go.
Tina, good and fast. So that's all there. You can go ahead and register right from that page. And everything is going to be recorded. So if you're
That was
not
my other
able
question.
if you're not able to attend at that time, you are welcome to still sign up, and then a recording will be sent to you. I also put, if you are on that page, you'll see that under learning opportunities, there's a subheading that reads iRead recordings. I've left all the 2025 ones up just in case
Oh,
you want to reference them or go back or whatever. And I will be adding all of the 2026 recordings there as well. But I don't know about you all. If I'm just trying to remember that a recording is going to be put up somewhere, I will never look at it. But if I sign up, even if I can't attend, I can keep it in my inbox and reference it when I have the opportunity. So yeah, and Tina also just added the newsletter archives. So if you are not signed up for the newsletter, please do. Um, I I try really hard to make sure there's like good information in there and it's relevant and ideas and sharing what other libraries have done and all of that other good stuff. So, and it's only bi-weekly, so it's not like you're getting emails from us every day. And I think that it is really helpful. Plus, it keeps you on top of all of those deadlines that are sometimes hard to remember. So we try to make reminders about shipping deadlines and order deadlines and all that other good stuff. So that's all in that newsletter. And you can look at old issues if you would like, but also there's a link for you to sign up through that URL that Tina posted.
I highly encourage everyone to sign up for those webinars, those deep dives, especially the displays and decor webinars, because they have such great content and having any type of extra support is important. So, and I love Missy has already got signed up. I love it.
I'm telling you, Iowa is on top of it.
We try,
I
man. We
love it.
try. We
So
try.
those deep dives kind of came from my realization that the resource guide is big
Yes, it
and
is.
it's 300 plus pages. And that can be really intimidating and overwhelming. So I go through and I pull some stuff that I think is really great and really adaptable. I tell you like what page it's on and what materials you're going to need. And I try to scale up and down the programs so that it's accessible to all libraries. And yeah, like if you are an audiobook person, this is like me reading the resource guide to you. That's kind of the way that these deep dives are set up. Um, so yeah, I would love to see you all in those. And people ask such great questions. So that's one of course, the benefits of attending something live is you get to be active in the chat and share ideas and ask questions and all of that other good stuff.
And
Ah,
if you do go, last year we had a lot of Iowa libraries attend the deep dives. Becca was very kind to send us the names of who attended so that way we could award CE credit. And we'll get that worked out so that way that can happen this year as well. So
yeah, I'm
so
happy
that's
to share.
wonderful.
I'm happy to share that. Um, and I think we kind of got a system going last year, and it was relatively easy for me to get that info to you all. So
Yes,
yeah, get credit for that time on top of everything else. My word,
absolutely.
that's fabulous. Um, what else do we need to hit, Janae? What have we missed?
Let's see. I don't have any other questions. And if anyone else has any questions in the chat, feel free to add them in.
Mhm.
Um, um, do we need to add our names now to get C credit? For this webinar, yes. Please enter your first and last name and what library you're from. We can't award credit if you don't tell us your first and last name and what library you're from. And Dara has a question. How soon should we expect email with a code? I'm going to share my screen real quick because I have some info to share with you guys too. Um, let's see. Bear with me, guys. So everybody's asking about the code with the email. The email is going to come, actually, the state library is going to send an email with a bulletin with the instructions on how to redeem the code so you can download. It should be sending out this afternoon. We're waiting on one item, but we will send that out. So this will be emailed to your library directors. So your library directors will get the email. So you'll need to talk to them to see if they can forward that info to you. So once you get that email, you'll need to use the code, redeem it, and download the resource guide and graphics by June 1st, 2026. After June 1st, it's kind of like the like Disney movies. They go back into the vault. So that we need you to download it all by June 1st. The main reason why is because we are figuring out our billing, all of our fiscal year items, and so we have those bills come in. So we need you guys to download all the items by June 1st of 2026. And we have a lot, and I mean a lot of items coming down the pike. So get your pen and paper ready. We've got upcoming events coming up. October 28th from 11 to noon is Check It Out. Where that's where I book talk 30 books, 30 plus books in an hour. Everything you can register for is on Workday Learning. So register for Check It Out. It's good. It's always a fun time. And I give away lots of books. November's Pop YS Live, you definitely want to check out from 1 to 2 p.m. On November 12th. It's going to be engaging caregivers during story times. And I don't know about you, but nothing says quite annoying when the caregiver's in the back chatting or on their cell phone when they can be engaged with their kids. We're going to share some tips and tricks on how to get those caregivers engaged with your kiddos during story time from 1 to 2 p.m. on Wednesday, November 12th. And November 19th, plan to be here. Wednesday, November 19th, we're going to have our summer reading jumpstart virtual training. That is going to be from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I'm going to share some ideas for craft programs. The resource guide has a lot of story time ideas. I was thrilled to see this. So fun, all these different types of story time ideas and programming ideas for kids and teens. You guys will get a chance to share your library's triumphs this summer. If you had a program that was really cool and you want to let everybody know about it, this will be your chance to share what you've done that you're going to try again this year for summer. You'll be able to enter that info in the chat. And Becca is graciously going to join us also for this training. So that will be November 19th, 10 to 11:30 a.m. The info is already on Workday Learning, so register and we'll see you at that training. And it will be recorded, by the way. I wanted to say that too. Everything will be recorded. Also, I've been doing summer reading office hours the last 2 years, and it seems people like it. So I'm going to continue to offer summer reading office hours. These are just 1 hour open forum discussions with me on Zoom. Basically, you can come to this and share summer reading ideas, or if you're stuck about a program, I don't know what to do for it, or hey, what craft did you do? Can you share those ideas with me? They're just open forums where you can talk and exchange ideas. The registration is required. This is not for CE credit, but the dates are listed to your left, December 15th from 1 to 2, January 13th, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m., and February 16th, 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. All of these Zoom links are going to be in the email that I send to directors this afternoon. We're working on getting all the items up on the website, so please be patient. But check that email because it's going to have the Zoom links to the summer reading office hours. And also mark your calendars. You guys are getting a lot of info today. The summer reading summits are coming back. for 2026. I will be driving to 6 locations across Iowa in March for half-day trainings. It'll be the first 2 weeks in March, but more info and registration is going to come soon, roughly in January. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And if you didn't see in last month's PopYS newsletter, or actually this month's, save the date because April 16th and 17th, we are going to have PopYS Con. It is going to be a virtual format this year because we want to make sure we get off of the Public Library Association's conference. We want to make sure people can attend both conferences. So this year's conference will be virtual. We've got some dynamite keynote speakers for this conference. More info and registration is going to come out on January 2026. But PopYSCon 2026 will be virtual April 16th and 17th. And in 2027, PopYSCon will be back in person. So that way more people can attend and we can get off of the Public Library Association's conference schedule. Dara, you're asking, does anyone have info on the Performers Showcase? I would check with the Youth Services Subdivision on that, and I believe it's November 9th, if memory serves me right. And yes, it is on Library Talk. Excuse me, I'm grabbing my planner right now as we speak. Excuse me, November 6th. November 6th, I've got for the Performers Showcase. So thank you, Sarah. And that, my friends, is all I have. Thank you guys for your time today. I know everybody has busy schedules, but I really appreciate you guys taking the time to hear from Becca and Tina and to get excited about this year's theme. I love the artwork. It's going to be a fun summer. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready. So thank you guys so much for attending. If you have any questions, please reach out to Becca and Tina. They are very helpful. Again, contact them by email. That's the quickest. So yes, and if you have any questions, let me know and be on the lookout for that email. It is going to come. I'm just waiting for one item. So thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Thank you all. It was so nice to virtually see everybody. And let me tell you something. If Janae can deliver, Janae will deliver. So if you will get that email as soon as she's able to send it to you. She's so efficient and fabulous. So fret not. You'll get it. You'll get it. And if for any reason you do have any hiccups, that's another reason to reach out to us via email. Because occasionally like there'll be something weird with the download, and usually it's about interruption in your internet. Because we've had so many people test the download of these files. So yeah, we can help walk you through it and troubleshoot and see maybe what's going on. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Amanda,
you.
anything else?
I think you got everyone. You got Heather's question about Iona. So yes,
I've copied that and pasted it so that way I have it.
and it's in the directory too. It's updated, so it should be good. Everything should be. So we'll get everyone marked off on Workday attendance. So be on the lookout for that. And if you have any other questions, please reach out to any of us. We're always happy to help. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
friends.
you.
Bye.